8:36 left to play. And we were reflecting on the last time Cornerstone lost to this Concordia team a little bit ago. Who was the team that they played before again? Was that Rochester?
So it was Rochester for the WAC regular season title, and they blew a 22-point lead, and it kind of that carried into the tournament quarterfinal, and Concordia was able to get the upset.
I guess the point of me asking that is that no lead is ever safe.
Yeah.
They were up by 22 in that game. It seemed like regular season championship was well in reach, but can never count a team out in this conference. Off the front of the rim, no good. Rowlandson soars in and knocks it out of bounds, right out of the hands. It looked like Kip French that was going up for it. 7:55 until halftime. Again, Cornerstone 9-1 in their last 10 meetings against this team from Ann Arbor. And we keep calling Eli Steffen's name a lot. 6.3 assists per game, and just a really athletic point guard, too. He's kind of a 1 and a 2 in that way. You can plug and place him anywhere you need him.
Well, when the team had Christian Rodriguez, he was a 2, and that's what he played, and he can do a little bit of both, as you said.
Ainsworth pulls it down. Steffen now back the other way. And when we talk about prototypes or players that he resembles, I always remember Gabe Merriweather and his vertical. Eli Steffen resembles that. If he gets a breakaway in this game, we might get a Charlotte Hornets play-by-play call of that one. This one kicks out of bounds. Back to Concordia.
Yeah, and speaking of that, you got your even bigger highlight star sitting on the bench with injury in Jack Joldersma. So Jack Joldersma, you haven't seen this year. He was Mr. Highlight last year with the dunks. Whether it was off the backboard, alley-oops, it didn't matter. He would throw them down.
It's not rare to see that type of athleticism at the NAIA level. So that one's off the mark. Rebound out to CU. It'll be Steffen back the other direction. The only thing that's rare is that Steffen, almost a nice finish. Instead, he'll get 2 shots. But the one thing that's different is typically the size. The players are just a little bit taller, a little bit bigger. It's interesting, Dan Hasty, who I work with at the Whitecaps, calls games for Detroit Mercy, and they actually played Rochester to begin the season. That was their first game, first non-conference game. So first shot from Steffen rolls around and rolls in, 25-11. Of course, Cornerstone hasn't really gotten the opportunity to play a big school in recent years because I don't think anyone wants to schedule them.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. That's something that we used to have, but that's been a huge conversation. We've asked multiple schools, but, yeah, that's a tough one. With a legendary coach and Coach E and the success of this team, it's not really much winning that can happen if you're a D1 school with the risk of maybe falling to an NAI program like Cornerstone that's really, really good.
A lot to lose. Here's the finish. Bring you guys back to the 2010 season. Took on Central Michigan in a preseason exhibition. And I believe Cornerstone fell by 3 in that game. Rowlandson hits a 3 on the other end, 28-13, lead up to 15. But that's the thing about basketball, Jesse, and I think that's why everyone loves college basketball so much.
Yeah.
All you have to be able to do is move the ball and shoot the ball.
Right.
And if you do that, you have a chance. That one drops. I mean, heck, Grand Valley State had a lead on Michigan State at halftime of their exhibition.
Yeah, for sure. And then you look at a Michigan State team that's had success against some of the best.
Some of the best in the country.
Yeah.
So that's just how basketball works. Inside to Ainsworth. Leads the conference in several statistical categories. One of them is points per game. As he gets 2 there.
That is a signature Corey Ainsworth pivot move right there. He missed the initial shot, but just pads the stats, get the offensive rebound, put it right back in.
It's just that pivot foot. He's so good. He high points that basketball so you can't take it away from him. And much like the all-time great and Sam Vanderslice just rotates on that foot, is able to finish inside.
Stole the words right out of my mouth with that one.
Rowlandson from the free throw line makes it 32-15, 17-point lead, and advantage just continuing to climb here for Cornerstone. Again, tough loss. Zach Clark, the second leading scorer for this Cardinals team, if you're just now tuning in, taken out a little bit earlier with what looked like some sort of leg ailment. So playing without one of their premier scorers right now, but they have to lock down on defense. Ainsworth, one-on-one, gets fouled and gets 2 free throws.
It's amazing how this team, when Carter Knipe's not on the floor, the reliance on the fellow Waylands player and Corey Ainsworth, and really the mantra of the team just kind of shifts from perimeter shooting to get the ball to Corey, and Corey is a very physical player in the post and earns 2 free throws here.
You know, it's always hard. I don't think there's ever one area that you can, write down as this is the area that Coach Kim Elder's teams do well in. They don't just do well in one area or another. They do pretty well at everything. It's because they have that formula.
They have the personnel for every different type of formula. Does a great job teaching and putting people in good spots to be able to do that at the right time.
And I know recruiting obviously has changed a lot over the course of the last 30 years, but when you come to this university and you see the banners and everything else, it I guess makes that decision a little bit easier. Cardinals will try to get something going. Officially inside of 5 minutes, 4:24 until halftime. One-on-one matchup. Floats it up and floats it in. Here's Ethan Young, freshman out of Livonia, Michigan. Floats it in with the hook. Summerfield. Deep three. Rowlandson nearly knocks that one down. Not scared to shoot from anywhere on the court. Not scared to shoot at any time. Certainly saw that against Madonna. Swinging it around. Lockhart back into the game. Almost hits a three. Instead, it's Ainsworth who gets the ball back to Rowlandson. Instead, there's a whistle that sounds, and you can go with number 12. I believe that's number 32. Thank you. 32. Ethan Young. Adam Bassel very confused on the sidelines.
That was a unique foul call, too. Corey Ainsworth just kind of jumped higher than you've ever seen him. It didn't even really look like he got touched, but he hit the floor so hard it almost felt like the ref by nature just blew the whistle and was like, oh, got to give it to somebody here.
By instinct. Speaking of verticals, I didn't know Corey had one. Summerfield. Cornerstone swinging the ball around. Inside to Knipe, turnaround jump shot, hits the side of the rim.
He wanted a foul call on that one. He felt his elbow got hit, and that's why it was a low-line drive.
That three-pointer on the way, rims around and drops. Well, it's been a decent game so far for Zachary Johnson. Noblesville, Indiana, junior here for Concordia. Didn't see a lot of him in the game notes or anything stand out, but doing what he has to do to try and keep Concordia in this basketball game is now a whistle blows. Jump ball called. Summerfield looks like he might have gotten hit in the eye. Trying to blink it off. 2:57 rather to play till half.
Yeah, just too much dribbling there by Summerfield. He got caught in kind of a weird spot. Kind of ran a clear out for him, which was a little bit of a unique play with just his size and his skill set, and led to a turnover.
Inside of 3 minutes, 2:48. One man that has been keeping Concordia in the game offensively just turned it over. That was Zachary Johnson on the turnover. Summerfield, one of the Cornerstone players, nearly runs into the ref. On the far side, that was Zach Feldhaus. Ainsworth. Now over to Knipe. Back to Ainsworth. Inside. Can't finish. But Johnny on the spot. Toby Woolcock there to collect it and put it up and put it in. 36-20.
That's the dynamic duo of the two Wayland guys. Concordia didn't know what to do there. They've been kind of dominated by both players. They chose to stick with Carter Knipe on the three-point line, not let him shoot it, and Corey had an easy lane to the hoop. Unfortunately, just missed the layup, but as you said, Woolcock right there to clean it up.
ITS Partners halftime show coming up momentarily. Minute 49, maybe in some change away. Dish inside to Knipe. Knipe looking for Woolcock on a backdoor cut, but just a little bit wide on that pass. Take a look at all the stats there from the first half. as well as the ice-cold performance it's been, unfortunately, for Concordia from deep. Not the same on the other end. Carter Knipes' fourth three-point bucket of this first half. It's 39-20.
It almost looks lackadaisical, too. It's so funny just how he comes around those picks.
Again, it's almost as if he just glides.
Yeah.
It's like he's kind of floating through the air.
And again, with the Kevin Durant comment, too, like there was a defender right there, but it felt like he didn't even know he was there because he's so much higher than the defender can even get in his face.
Can only do so much. If we're playing at the YMCA, it's a different story, but organized basketball, have to position yourself the right way. Corey Ainsworth checks out of the game to a raucous applause.
I think we have a lot of Wayland people here today.
Seems like it.
There were some big crowds or big cheers for both those guys when they got introduced in the starting lineup, sitting right in front of us here.
A lot of flannels floating around. Here's a shot up, no good.
It's usually a good teller of where they're from in the area.
No, he pulls it down. Summerfield back to Knipe. Thought about another three. Decides to go inside, though, and a good finish on that end. Connor Dykema with two. 41-22, 19-point lead. Again, can't rest on your laurels, but rest assured that was a good first half. That one floated up and in. Jaden Pretty finally getting involved in the scoring action. That's his first bucket of the game.
And that was a tough shot. He had to float that all the way over the outstretched arm of Carter Knipe, but was able to use the backboard to bank that one in.
Summerfield takes it himself and gets the deuce. 2-1, one last heave, never mind. A little bit late on that one. Kip French tried driving to the hole.